Hey guys, Andres here. I've just watched Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, and it is amazing. Like, it's S tier DreamWorks for me. Like, the first Puss in Boots movie, it was fine for what it was. Like, I didn't love it, but I didn't think it was bad either. But this new movie, where do I even begin? Let's first talk about Puss himself. In the Shrek movies, he had his moments, but he was more of a gag character than anything. But in this movie, he has a genuine arc about anxiety for death. When he sees death, his heart is beating, like he doesn't know what to do. You actually feel for him. You want him to calm down and feel safe. And when he finally learns to make his last life worth it, it's really satisfying. I can't even describe it with words. And surprisingly enough, neither Kitty or Perro got on my nerves. They both contribute something. And about the rest of the characters, there's Goldilocks and the Three Bears, there's Jack Horner, and then there's Death. I'll talk more on him later. But first, let's talk about Goldilocks and the Three Bears. The movie dedicates them a subplot where they learn to appreciate each other as a family, and Goldilocks has an arc about wanting everything to be just right, which is pretty clever if you remember what happens in the actual fairy tale. Then there's Jack Horner, who doesn't necessarily come from a fairy tale, he comes from a nursery rhyme, but he is still a prominent threat throughout the movie. He has arguably the least screen time, but man, when this guy crosses boundaries, he crosses them. He uses baby unicorn horns to explode his own henchmen. Like, dude, that's James Gunn levels of crude humor. I love it. Other than that, he doesn't have much dimension. He's just your typical unsympathetic asshole villain. But he is still a fun and entertaining antagonist. And finally, there's Death. As in, not metaphorically or poetically or blah blah blah. Death straight up. Look at this monster. Just by his design alone, you can tell he is not screwing around here. Something I noticed recently is that Death is the only Shrek villain to ever strike fear in Puss's heart. Think back all the way from Shrek 2. The Fairy Godmother, Rumpelstiltskin, Jack and Jill. No, he is the first one to ever make Puss afraid. I mean, obviously that's the point, but I just wanted to put that out there. Oh yeah, that was me just rambling about the characters and story. What about the animation? Top notch, especially the fight scenes. Like, look at this. Oh yeah, and speaking of pleasing spectacles, let me tell you, if you're a longtime Shrek fan, this movie's post-credit scene is gonna make you cry. Or at least just scream to the roof, I don't know. If you haven't seen this movie yet, I plead you to go watch it. If everything I just said was enough to convince you, well, let's say it surely deserves those $1 billion more than Avatar 2, I'll say that much. If you have watched it, please let me know what you thought about it. Did you like it? Hate it? Did you love it as much as me? Or do you think it belongs in the trash along Shrek the 3rd? Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, write your thoughts on the comments down below, yada yada yada. See you next time. Stay faithful and hopeful.